Yes, I think we are recording. Bala, hi. Happy Deepavali to you and family. I mean, one day late as always, but then that's okay.
Post Diwali, we are on air.
Yeah. Post Diwali. Yeah, after post Diwali, obviously means that we are tired.
We are tired.
What for doing nothing during Diwali? So
watching a lot of movies, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
now the tradition has changed because you watch first day first show on one of those OTT platforms. And that is the reason why we are here for this show.
So what did you watch?
I watched Mookuthi Amman in Tamil. Mookuthi Amman. Mookuthi is nose ring.
Yeah.
Amman is goddess.
Goddess. Okay. And I watched Chalang, which is jump in Hindi.
What does it mean? Sorry?
Jump. Chalang lagana. Jump.
Okay.
Chalang.
Okay.
So yeah. So yes, how did you respond to Mookuthi Amman?
Mookuthi Amman, I mean, I kind of liked it. Straight away I'll say I kind of liked it. But there are certain portions which make you cringe. There are certain portions. And those portions were tacky. See, straight away I'll say this is slightly inspired from PK, Bruce Almighty. They make this announcement right at the start. So it's not something, they don't mention PK. They mention the work of Raju Hirani and Tamil director Shankar and a lot of other names, Bruce Almighty. And they make it. This is a film where the goddesses comes and stays with, goes with the TV reporter. His name is Angels Ramaswamy. Angels, the guy who was with Karl Marx. And Ramaswamy is, of course, EVR Ramaswamy, the Tamil, the Dravidian patriarch.
Yeah. So that itself is that's interesting.
Exactly. The premise is very interesting.
Very interesting,
It's before I get to the story, the movie is pretty much like PK. It is against Godman, which is very important, which is good. But where it falters is the Godman portion, because the person who plays the Godman, the character is written very badly. It doesn't have there is nothing fleshed into it, and you don't have somebody like Saurabh Shukla to
carry it off.
Enhance it.
Yeah, to carry it off. Yeah, I got the point. Yeah, I got the point.
And I know when I say Saurabh Shukla, I know how much of a fan you are.
Oh yes,
Raja of Saurabh Shukla, because you can practically watch it, just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah,
because
you can just watch it.
Yeah, you can just watch it. He's that kind of an actor.
Yeah.
That is what made, because I'm a fan of PK. Because one of the things that worked for me was the way Saurabh Shukla played the character.
Yes.
Here it was just caricature. It was cartoon, the whole thing. That was the main part of the story. See, you are making a film against Godman, which is pretty much welcome, because it is against corporate Godman. It is some kind of the Godman is, in this film, this is some kind of a cross between Nityananda and Jaggi Vasudev, which is perfectly fine, which is the need of the hour. I am not against that part. But the problem is the way it was presented to us. That is where the whole problem, and that's where the film falters.
So without giving away the story, what I understand is you have God and Godman together in the same frame.
Goddess.
Goddess. Okay, fine.
Because there in the film, there is one specific line where he says, "What do you think about God? God is a woman." He says that. So it is good, and it is played by Southern Tamil women superstar, Nayantara, lady superstar. That's what they call her.
Okay.
And she's very pretty, and she has the screen presence.
Yeah, she always had that. Screen presence was never a problem.
The casting of Nayantara is pretty good.
Who else? Who else? Or we'll come to that later. We'll come to that later. So let me.
I would want you to hear your initial thoughts on Chalang. Initial thoughts on Chalang.
So again, I watched Chalang because of one guy, Rajkumar Rao. Again, somebody who I like to watch, love to watch. So the premise is very simple. Rajkumar Rao is a good for nothing who gets into a school as a teacher because he gets recommended to it by his well-to-do lawyer father. And because he doesn't have a B.Ed, guess what? He becomes a PT teacher, which we have all seen.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he's a lovely PT teacher because anytime anybody wants his class to complete the portion, he says, le lo. No problem.
Okay.
Pick it up. You can go. So for him, physical training instructor doesn't exist because he says, and he believes in that age old. Every time when he needs it, that is, he quotes a doha, a muhavra from the old times, which says, "Kya hai? Padhoge, something padhoge, likhoge, hoge nawab, kheloge, koodoge, hoge kharab." So anyone who comes and talks to him, he says, "Look, PT is not important because see, this is what our philosophy is." That's not because he doesn't. he doesn't like it. And believe me, there are hilarious scenes in this. So, pretty much all Indian cricketers, all sports people get a reference in the movie.
Oh.
Right from Tendulkar to Sehwag to you take anybody, all the names are there. Not just that, the Fogart sisters are there. Pretty much everyone, Deepika Kumari, everyone is there.
Okay.
And Sania Mirza, Saina Nehwal. There is reference of all of these people. So you and I would like it because there is sports at the background.
Exactly.
So, and Rajkumar Rao, pitch perfect. And he is a Haryanvi, so Haryanvi accent comes naturally to him, which is what surprised me because Nusrat Bharucha, who's the leading lady, she's from Mumbai. She's hardcore Mumbai, South Mumbai person. Even she manages her Haryanvi. Yes, it is affected to some extent, but she really picks it up. I mean, she does deliver. So it's interesting. It's hilarious. There are some beautiful scenes where the typical misogyny of the society comes out.
Okay.
He's trying to woo the girl. There's this beautiful scene where he's trying to woo the girl and says, coffee finish. She said, no, we'll go to the beer bar. And this guy's expression, huh?
Okay.
That was hilarious.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so the movie was fun to watch. There were a lot of loose ends because, the story was very obvious. Okay. We know what is going to happen. You have a PT teacher who doesn't care about PT, and then suddenly a third person enters the scene. He's a actual PT teacher who's coached at the Netaji Subhash
Award or something.
No, academy.
Yeah,
sports. Yeah, he's coached there. So obviously he's a good sports teacher, and he realizes this fellow is good for nothing, and then that battle goes on, and they find a very unique way of resolving who's better, and obviously the hero wins. So there is nothing there. But the process is what was enjoyable. So if I'm recommending, I do recommend the movie. I would say go and watch the movie for that process that you see from the start to the end. There's no story. Acting chops are good. There's not great story. The way that thing goes is fantastic. And by the way, no surprises for guessing. Saurabh Shukla is there in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that makes my day.
Okay. Yeah, but for me, Mookuthi Amman is still a watch.
Yeah.
Despite especially the later half, too much of dialogues. But there are certain real funny portions. The lines are terrific. RJ Balaji is one of the up and coming actors, and in this film, he has also had the directorial duty along with another person called N.J. Saravanan. Okay. So R.J. Balaji, his previous movie was a huge hit, LKG. Mm-hmm. It's a political satire.
Yeah.
This is the problem is the film. There are problems with Mookuthi Amman because you talked of pitch perfect. The pitching is a problem in this film. Okay. It doesn't know where it stands because at one level it wants to be spoofy satire kind of thing that works for somebody like R.J. Balaji, and there are certain portions which really work. But another problem is it wants to be very messagey, which is a bane of Tamil movies, Raj. I can't tell you how much of a problem this messaging in Tamil movies is right now. Because whatever movie you make, there has to be a message. See, even with Surare Potru, the problem, it's a good movie. We recommended it in our previous show. The problem was with the urge of the filmmaker or the hero to convey some larger message, which is worrying, which is a worrying trend, because it's almost a pandemic proportions. Every movie has to be this Mookuthi Amman, it's supposed to be a fun movie, but here too you have to have a message. See, when you make a movie against government, that itself is a good message. Why do you want to present it straight at your face?
So again, that brings me to the other pandemic that Indian filmmakers seem to have. I'm not generalizing here. That, like you said, if you state the obvious, why believe that the audience doesn't get it?
Exactly. Why do you want to dump it down?
Yeah, if the audience gets it, boss, they are
intelligent. See, when you make when your preachiness is still, you are actually dumping it down because you think the audience won't get it.
So this is a bit like our I can't keep cricket out of any conversation we have. This is a bit like the old cricket commentary. You are watching TV and the guy says, "और उन्होंने ये ball short pitch गेंद और hook किया और 6 रन अभी दिख रहा है मेरे को." उसके आगे बोल. Isn't it? See,
hey, don't dump down Hindi on me, man.
It's okay. Now don't come into that Hindi debate. Let us keep that. Because you watch Hindi movies, I watch Tamil movies. It's fine.
Because since I brought the language issue up, because I had a problem with Surya Poto, because there are issues in life of G.R. Gopinath where this language issues was a pretty important thing.
Exactly.
They didn't. They didn't have a story on that because he didn't crack the Sainik school exam because on the first attempt because it was in English. When it was in Kannada, he cracked it.
Yeah. And he says it himself. It's in the book.
He says it is in the book. It is in the first chapter, man.
This is the point. This is what I mean. I mean, see, when you sort of, you don't think that these messages are important.
I mean, those political messages,
it comes out here openly, right?
You can, that is one of the issues, burning issues in India. I mean, one of the burning issues, and the language issue has always been burning. That's a different story.
So my point is that, if you take, the assumption that only English works, doesn't work for me.
See, one of the good things about OTT platforms, it has made available to us films from across languages because
exactly
the subtitles work and subtitles have gotten better.
Yes. And then I see on my social media a lot of people have watched this Surare Potru, for example. They have liked it. Like some of them have said that. I remember one person commenting like that. What has Bollywood given us this entire lockdown? The southern movies have been far brilliant. The fact is, how do they say that? Because they get to see that.
Exactly, precisely.
Which is what
OTT platforms are doing a great service on that score.
Yeah, which is what is important.
Nowadays in theaters too, you get subtitles in select theaters in Chennai.
Yes, it is coming. Yeah, it is coming. I feel that thanks to which are the movies which really require a theatrical audience? Think about it. There are these big budget movies.
Exactly.
And what do big budget movies usually offer? I'm not generalizing.
Spectacle, just as a visual.
Yeah, it's a visual thing that they offer. So
Exactly.
this is okay. So 1983, the movie, which is scheduled to come out once people can go to theaters, Kabir Khan's movie. I'm sure I won't mind watching it on a smaller screen or a bigger screen because we know the story. There are no surprises. Now it's the nuances that are coming out there, right?
Yeah.
So I think OTT as a platform is definitely. I don't know how we got talking about OTT, but then that's how
we tend to digest. But I'll get back to Mookuthi Amman. It was except if they had cut down on the preachiness part, it would have worked.
Yeah.
Because there is humor and there is more than anything else. I need to talk about this. This Deepavali in Tamil has been all about the actress Urvashi. She is terrific. You would have seen her in Surya Report. In my book, though there are a lot of differences, in my book, she is even better in Mookuthi Amman.
Yeah.
And the entire family, it's fun, man. It's a family of the guy, hero RJ Balaji, who plays a TV reporter, and three sisters, his mother Urvashi, and their grandfather Mowli.
Yeah.
So it's great fun. It's grand. Urvashi just
nails it. Right?
Nails it. She, you know her. You know that she can play humor pretty well.
Yeah. And who can forget movies like MMKR and Mundane Mudichi and all, right?
And you'll have lots to say from Malayalam.
Malayalam, yeah. So obviously, so
she's terrific. And there is an element of hamminess, which is an agreeable hamminess. When I say hamminess, it's not bad. You have to be slightly over the top for humor to work. Sometimes, not always.
So if you look at a movie like Oh My God, you had Paresh Rawal over the top, right? He was definitely not at that level. It's slightly above that. Slightly above that.
Then the quirkiness of the character.
Yes, it comes out. You're right. So in this, Rajkumar,
the slight hamminess in that performance is what is good.
Yeah. So I will add to that. Even Rajkumar Rao, who seldom hams, who hardly hams. So he hams a little bit here on purpose. So you brought up that point. I'm picking up from that. And that that hamming is actually what makes him lovable.
Exactly.
In that movie, you really don't know how to respond to this guy. Sometimes he's such a dumb idiot. They're like, how could you do this? And then immediately after that, you realize, no, he actually didn't figure it out. He's so dumb, he didn't figure it out. He doesn't know that there is something like this also. I don't want to give away the plot because there are some very nice small twists, which will surprise, and it will actually bring out these characters in a much better fashion. Like I said, towards and I forgot, by the way, you mentioned Urvashi. I'll tell you, the guy who's who really pitches it perfectly in this is that second character, second coach who comes in. It's played by Mohammad Zishan Ayub, who's a very underrated actor in my book.
Okay. I don't know much about him.
Yeah, he is terrific. Now I don't know which movie. I was actually, when we were talking, I was actually trying to figure out which movie he's in Mission Mangal. Actually, he has acted in Mission Mangal. So he has done quite a few movies. He's there in No One Killed Jessica right in the beginning. He played the killer, Manu Sharma.
Oh, Manu Sharma. Okay. Oh, now I get the face.
Yeah, he's there in Tanu Vets Manu, both versions.
Okay.
So I mean, he has done quite a few movies, and Ranjana is there.
Oh, Ranjana.
He plays this guy's friend.
Oh, sidekick of
yeah, that guy.
Okay. I know.
But yeah, he pitches it perfectly. So in this also, he has pitched it perfectly. He's just, although he's considered to be the other guy in this, and he has no intentions. You can make out that he has no intentions on the heroine or anybody, but you still feel, okay, I don't like you. It goes on in your mind, and that is how he has pitched that character. He's just amazing. So I think he's that. I don't know. I mean, I would love to talk about Irfan for one full show. So when I see him, I remember Irfan. Actually, that's a big compliment as far as I'm concerned. So his eyes perform. He just needs to look, and then everything you can make out what he's thinking. And there is, in this movie, I think the cutest scene is reserved for the end.
Okay.
I don't want to sort of, again, no spoilers. I mean, there is a match up, and there's one team wins and the other loses, and then after that, what happens is the cutest turn in this movie.
Okay.
So I watch that and watch Rajkumar Rao and Saurabh Shukla and this guy, Mohammad Zishan Ayub, very closely. Very closely. I mean, there are fantastic acting chops, nuances, which we'll talk some other day in a different program. Because if I tell you now, I think it will be a spoiler. So I'll leave it.
Even in this film, Mukati Manu, see the end where Urushi does something to her husband. It's terrific. See, that is the kind of messaging. I mean, that one act she does. I don't want to break it. I mean, that is what is all about messaging. I mean, you let your actions and words speak rather than put it. I mean, don't hold a placard.
Yeah. So I think I'll finally. Yeah.
So Mukati Amman for me is a watch. But there are portions which are tacky, cringe-worthy. If you can overlook that, which I managed to, it's certainly because I like the humor part, and I like the larger idea is good. The conceit of a goddess coming down, and there are certain elements that typically that works in Tamil milieu, and which R.J. Balaji is quite famous for. That one song that he has a connect with that is the kind of the song. If he sings that song, the goddess arrives in Brittany, and the choice of that particular song is pretty interesting. That is where that's where the humor lies.
Yeah. So and by the way,
it is a watch, but there are. It is a watch with certain aspects at the top.
So I will also say the same thing. This is definitely a watch, and especially people who have been in Delhi, who are aware of Haryana, and who are aware of. I mean, those guys are Haryana. Some of my best friends are Haryanvis. And I just enjoy their friendship for one reason. They are with you or not with you. I mean, they work in a binary.
Okay.
So, I mean, not generalizing again, my friends at least. Okay. So in this, you have some fantastically created scenes. Like there's one scene where there are fisticuffs. I mean, people are flying fists. Okay. In between everything, suddenly this guy says, "Arey, hum kyun lad rahe hain?"
Okay.
No idea. So there are beautiful scenes, and Hansal Mehta, who's the director, he has done a fantastic job, I would say. And I'm telling you,
Hansal Mehta and Rajkumar Rao, their combination is terrific.
It's terrific. And lot of it. You can't make out that it's the same Hansal Mehta who was made, say, Shahid. Which is the beauty of it. So that
they made apparently 5 films together, right?
Yeah, 4 or 5. So that range is what is beautiful. And I'm actually watching, as we speak, I'm also watching Scam 92, which is also done by Hansal Mehta, which is a completely different genre. So hats off to the guy, man. I mean, I just really liked the thing. I mean,
pretty late, Raj.
I know. We'll talk about it some other time. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
When they can make a movie on Scam 90, what happened in 92? we can perhaps talk
See,
about
look
it
at
6 months later.
Yeah, look at it this way. At least they released this. No, Abhishek
Yeah,
Bachchan
yeah.
is supposed to be doing a movie on scam Arshad Mehta, which is I don't know what has happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is a movie supposed to be coming out, a 2.5 hour movie with Abhishek Bachchan playing the big bull.
Okay.
So I mean, we'll leave it there. So we are at least earlier than Abhishek Bachchan, which is not saying too much, but then.
I'm a fan of Abhishek Bachchan, not as a hero. I mean, his films, everybody knows it. But that guy has a lot of grace.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we'll talk about that also some other time. So I think we'll end with that. I think we are suggesting a watch, both of us, provided you, without sort of like Bala said and I said earlier, without sort of giving you away spoilers. There are certain cringeworthy areas. There are certain. I mean, it's not that perfect movie that we are talking about. It's worth watching because it's Diwali season, festival season. I think we are allowed to sort of pardon some of these sins because it's festival season.
So, yeah, exactly. It has fun elements. Yes. Some spoofy parts certainly work for me.
And for me, Rajkumar Rao's 2 movies I watched over the last 3-4 days. I mean, it brings out his range also.
Urvashi movies.
Yes. So I think it also. So that is also true. So I think with that, I think we'll wind up and say thank you. Both are watches. Both are with caveats. So
exactly.
Yeah, if you don't manage to overcome those, we would suggest you shut down because I mean that's the difference.
Yeah.
So
in general, we don't want to give any recommendation. Watch it or not watch it. We are just giving our opinions on our film.
That's all there is. Yeah. And if you have a different opinion, I would say share with us because maybe we have overlooked things. Maybe there are things which.
And there is no one particular way to.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. So we have overlooked something. So I mean, we would like to learn and go along. So if you think there is anything which you found
interesting
or disinteresting, share it on our YouTube channel. I mean, you can comment and like and share and subscribe and all of that. We'll keep coming back with
more such stuff
and batter. I mean, since cricket is again, like I said, we need to bring cricket in. Since cricket is some time away, we'll get back to it sooner than later. So thanks, Bala, and
thanks, Raj. It was fun.
See you soon, and we'll keep talking on something or the other.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.